Hello, my name is Michael McCarthy and I'm your local Labour TD. I was elected to Dáil Éireann at the general election of 2011, having spent 9 years in Shannon and 4 years in Cork County Council. During this Dáil term, the former Taoiseach and Labour leader Eamon Gilmore appointed me chairman of the Oireachtas Committee on Environment, Culture and Local Government. I've worked hard as a TD on the ground over the last 5 years, and I worked particularly hard to build that base to allow me to represent you in Dáil Éireann. I am married to Nollaig and we have 4 young children. Well, 5 years ago, when this government took office, unemployment ran at a national rate of almost 15%. Thankfully, in these days, it's now closer to 8%. So the biggest challenge we face as a country and as a government was the whole unemployment crisis. Now, huge improvements have been made in relation to providing jobs and providing the circumstances necessary to create jobs to get people back to work. And that's spreading the benefits of the recovery into the workplace, getting people back into the workplace, giving them a sense of dignity with a job and giving them a meaningful contribution to their own lives and that of the lives of the people around them. Now, spreading the recovery, the benefits of the recovery, I believe, remains the outstanding challenge. We have seen a lot of investment in West Cork over the last 5 years, which is particularly good given the fact that we were just off the back of the worst recession this country had ever experienced. So in that context, we have seen a lot of investment. There'll be brand new schools for Kinsale, Skibbereen, Clonakilty, or for example the €5 million brand new swimming pool for Dunmanway. And these are all issues that we can be quite rightly pleased with in West Cork. But I want to see the recovery spread to everybody's pocket, because not everybody yet feels the benefit of that recovery. Well, I think in West Cork down through the years we've been relatively lucky in terms of the people we've elected to Dáil Éireann. We've been served well by them. In the present situation, I've dealt with ministers over the last 5 years, leading delegations to West Cork to meet ministers in Dublin. And if you just take last year, for example, in 2015, I brought at least 4 or 5 different ministers down to West Cork. So I think there's a very strong case in West Cork to look for a ministry in the next government. I believe this government will be returned. I believe it's in the best interest of the people of the country. And I would want to be a minister in that government because I want to serve my country and my constituency. And I feel that if we have a minister in West Cork, it will help us to develop and to use that expansion of economic growth right in the region, because there's an element of bringing the mountain to Muhammad. I want to see a minister in West Cork, and I want to see this government being returned, and I would be honoured to serve as a minister for the area. I think it is. If you look at recent elections, there's always a worrying trend if there's evidence to suggest that there's low interest in elections, bad voter turnouts. For example, the referendum on children's rights saw a turnout of around 30%. And that's quite disappointing when you consider how serious children's rights are. And the issues around children's rights and historically issues around that down through the years. But then the marriage equality campaign, it just sparked with people's creativity and their imagination, and that was a very, very big achievement by this administration. And it was an issue that Eamon Gilmore, to his credit, put on the agenda back before 2011, and it found its way in the programme for government, and it just captured the spirit of Ireland as a nation, whereby people went out and voted in their droves. Now I hope that practice and that habit of voting is going to resurrect itself for people for the forthcoming general election, because in the year 2016, celebrating the 100 years of the founding of our state, it's important that we honour the men and women who gave their lives for Irish freedom by exercising our democratic franchise. Well, as I said, I've worked very hard over the last 5 years as a TD for this locality, and I hope that the people that I've dealt with, the thousands of people that I have dealt with, either through my constituency office or my constituency advice centres, will see merit in returning me to the next Dáil.